right, boys and girls, happy Monday. Today is June 1st. It is our very first day of June. For today, for reading, you're going to practice stopping and jotting again. So you need an electronic device with sound. You need a nonfiction book from home or Raz Kids, and there's a stop and jot sheet that you're going to fill out, or you may even use Post-it notes if you would like, and you could send those to me. So remember, a jot is a quick note about something important that we read on the page. You can use symbols to label your jots if you want, like you did in that last jot that you had. So for example, a star can be used to symbolize something you found interesting while reading. Today, you're going to follow certain topics of what you're going to jot about on the sheet, such as making connections, something that was really interesting, something that was really confusing, and we'll go through that sheet in a little while. Today, for writing, you're going to be doing your closing. So you need an electronic device with sound, and you have to go to your waffle and open up your Google Slides again. So a closing is the unique way a writer ends their writing piece. We never end with like the end. Now you know all about elephants, right? We want to avoid endings like that. So two ways to close an informational text are to summarize what you have taught the reader and to give them a next step to getting more information about your topic. For foundations, your skill is the long O sound. You need an electronic device with sound, and there's a Google Slide worksheet. So there's many different ways that we can get a long O sound. So we have O-E toe O, O-W blow O, O-A bow O. Okay, so you're going to use those sounds to fill out the worksheet. For math, you are adding 3 or more numbers. You need an electronic device with sound. You're going to have a worksheet in addition to a math box and some IXL practice. So partial sums is an easier way to solve addition problems when there's 3 or more add-ins. That means 3 or more numbers to add together. And then you're going to complete IXL math. It's G15 and 17. And social studies we're going to do for this week, we're going to practice goods and services. So there's going to be a video about goods and services and producers and consumers and some sheets that go along with it. So today you need an electronic device with sound. And if you want to just do part of it today maybe you'll just start with the goods and services video and the goods and services sheet maybe. So a good is something that you can use or consume, like food. Service is something that someone does for you. So, for example, someone giving you a haircut, that's a service. So let's hop into the classroom. So your checklist is here, right at the top. You can view that. So for math, there's a video. You could have a pencil, paper handy, do the work alongside, pause it if you have to as you go. You're going to use partial sums to add or whatever addition strategies that you want. And there is a math box. So here is the worksheet of adding 3 numbers. Here's your math box. And then you have some IXL practice that you can do. And then you can turn those in when you're finished. We scroll down to writing. All right, you're going to have your closing. So wow, second graders, you have written an introduction to introduce your topic. Then you wrote a section for each of your subtopics. Now you're ready to write your closing. A closing will wrap up your book. You want the reader to know the book is over. One thing you can do in a closing is summarize. You will remind the reader what you taught them. Sometimes you give the reader a next step, like telling them how to find even more about your topic. Today, you're going to write a closing that summarizes your book and gives your reader a next step. So you're going to open up your slide from your waffle Oh, I'm sorry. No, you're not going to go into your old slides. What am I saying? You're going to just click this one. Silly me. So you're going to summarize your book in one sentence, and you should remind the reader what you taught them, give your reader a next step, tell your reader where they can find more information about your topic, put it all together, copy and paste your summary and next step to make to wrap up your book. So you're going to start here.
I'm writing an informational book about computers. I wrote an introduction to introduce my topic. Then I wrote a section for each of my subtopics. Now I'm going to write a closing. We write closings to wrap up our book. We want the reader to know the book is over. One thing we can do in the closing is summarize. We remind the reader of what we taught them. Sometimes we also give the reader a next step. We can tell them how to find out even more information about our topic. Now I will write my closing. I'm going to summarize and then give a next step. There are many types of computers and you can use them to do a lot of cool things. To learn more, check out these other books about computers. Now I'm finished with the 3 main parts of my draft. In episode 7, I'm going to make a table of contents to help the reader find information in my book. Check it out.
All right. So there you have it. So you have your closing. There are many types of computers, and you can use them to do a lot of cool things. To learn more, check out these other books about computers. So you're going to type your closing here. So what did you teach the reader? Summarize it here. If you need more room, okay, you can finish doing it here. And then you could press this turn in button. Okay. All right, let's peek at reading. Let's peek at your Stop and Jot. So you're going to read a nonfiction book of your choice, or you can use Raz Kids, and you're going to use the document to stop and jot. So there's a video here of Mrs. Duraney stopping and jotting using this sheet if you would like to view an example of how it's done. So let's pretend that these are my little Post-it notes. So on one Post-it, I'm going to stop and jot to wonder. So what am I wondering about? I'm going to stop and jot to ask questions. What do I notice? I notice if something surprised me, if something is confusing or if I don't understand something, and to make a connection. So if you're struggling with how to stop and jot for any of these topics, check out my video. I use an article about butterflies and I stop and jot using each of these little posties. So if you would like to use real Post-it notes, if you have them, I know those are always fun to use. I know you guys liked using them in class. You can do that if you want as well, and you can just snap a picture and you can send that to me. Foundations. So we have the long O. So there's a video about the long O, and then there's a fill in the blank sheet. It is on a Google slide. Okay, so you can make the sheet bigger. You have a word bank. You're going to, oh, this is a view only. Okay. All right, they made a mistake here. So we're going to have to change this so that all of you can edit it. Because right now, when I go on, I can't type on it. I can just I can just view it. So we're going to have to just make a little correction so that you guys could go in and edit that slide the way you normally would. And then when you fill in the blanks, and then when you X out your work, it's going to show up here. so that you could press that turn in button. So we have to just make that correction to that sheet. So that's a fill in the blank sheet. And then you're going to turn that one in about your long O sounds. And then social studies, goods and services. So one of the most basic ideas in economics is goods and services. More than anything else, money is spent on goods and services. It helps to know the difference between the two. A good is something you can use or consume, like food or CDs or books or a car or clothes. A service is something that someone does for you, like gives you a haircut, fixes you dinner, or even teaches you social studies. The people who do the selling and the buying are producers and consumers. Producers create or produce goods and provide services, and consumers buy those goods and services with money. I know that's kind of some tough concepts, some tough definitions there, so we put some videos for you. So for social studies this week, we will learn the difference between these terms and examples of each. The following steps are due by the end of the week, June 5th, so you may choose when to complete them. So to learn more about goods and services, there's a goods and service video, and then a goods and services sheet that you're going to fill out. Then you're going to watch producers and consumers, and then there's a producers and consumers sheet to fill out. Then finally, you're going to log on to IXL, click the social studies tab, and you could practice topics under the heading F, economics. You could do numbers 2 and numbers 3. So if we want to check out these sheets for a second, so I would do each step at a time. So when you watch the goods and services video, then click on the goods and services sheet and do that one first. Okay. So you're going to fill in the correct word to each sentence and then give an example of each in the chart below. So one of these is a good. A blank is something you can use and hold in your hand. And one of these is a service. A blank is something that someone does for you. So you're going to fill in which one's a good, which one's a service, and then you're going to give at least 3 examples of each in the chart below and press the turn in button. Okay. And then on another day, if you would like, you have your producers and consumers video and producers and consumers sheet to fill in here. So you're going to think about what you learned from the video about producers and consumers. A producer is someone who makes goods and provides services. A consumer is someone who uses goods and services. Give an example of each and tell me why it's considered a producer or a consumer. So for example, a baker would be a producer because they make bread. When you buy bread, you're a consumer. Give an example of a producer and tell me why it's a producer, and then give me an example of a consumer and tell me why it's a consumer. Okay, and then you're going to turn that one in as well. And that is all due by Friday. And that is all of your assignments and everything that you have to do for today, Monday, June 1st. So proud of all the hard work, boys and girls, that you are doing. I'm going to take some of your questions now.